Hi everyone. In today's video, we're talking about for very rare coins from the UK and the USA. These coins look normal but could be worth a lot of money. If you collect coins or just want to learn, this video is perfect for you. Let's begin and have fun. First up, we have the 1969 50 new pence coin from the United Kingdom. This coin is one of the most exciting and valuable coins for collectors in the UK. It was the very first 50 pence coin ever made, as part of a big change in British currency called decimalisation. This change meant the old pounds, shillings, and pence system was being replaced with a simpler one. So, in 1969, this coin came into circulation as a replacement for the 10-shilling note. The design on the coin is beautiful and very traditional. On one side, it features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, as seen on most UK coins. On the other side, it shows Britannia, a female figure that represents Britain. She is sitting proudly on a lion, holding a trident in one hand and an olive branch in the other. These items are symbols of strength and peace. Below her, the coin says 50 new pence and the year it was made, which is 1969. At that time, the word new was used to avoid confusion with the old money. This coin has become incredibly rare today, especially because of some special versions and errors. One of the main things collectors look for is a misalignment error. This means that during the minting process, something went wrong with the machine, and the back side of the coin was printed slightly off-center. Because this doesn't happen very often, it makes these error coins extremely valuable. Regular 1969 50 pence coins are already rare, but if yours has this kind of mistake, it could be worth a lot of money. Coins with this error are known to sell for huge amounts, depending on their condition. If the coin is in excellent shape, what collectors call uncirculated or mint condition, it can fetch up to $50,000. Even if the coin is not perfect but still shows the misprint clearly, it can still be worth thousands of dollars. That's why many collectors and even people who don't usually collect coins are checking their old change and collections to see if they have one. Some of these coins were also included in special coin sets that were not meant for public use. These were made for collectors, and some of them might still be hidden away in drawers or passed down through families without anyone knowing how valuable they are. So if you or someone you know has an old 50 pence coin from 1969, especially one that looks a little different or unusual, it's a good idea to have it checked out by a coin expert. The key thing to remember is that it's not just the age of the coin that makes it valuable. It's the combination of age, rarity, and error. If a coin has all three of these, then it could be a true hidden treasure. Next, let's talk about the 1969 Washington quarter dollar from the United States. This coin is another exciting piece for collectors, especially because of a rare version that was made without a mint mark. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary quarter, but for those who know what to look for, it could be worth up to $3,000. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932. It was first made to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The front side of the coin has a portrait of George Washington, facing left. Above his head, it says Liberty, and under his chin, it usually says In God We Trust. The year it was made is printed at the bottom. Now, here's where the special part comes in. Usually, American coins have a small letter on them that shows where they were made. This is called a mint mark. In 1969, most quarters were made in Denver and have a small DEET on them, or in San Francisco with an S. But some were made in Philadelphia, and these didn't have a mint mark at all. Today, coins from Philadelphia often have a P, but in 1969, they didn't use any letter for that mint. Most of the time, a missing mint mark isn't a big deal. But what makes the 1969 no mint mark quarter special is how few of them are still around in excellent condition. A lot of coins from this year were used every day and got worn down over time. If you find one that has no mint mark and is still in great shape, with all the details of Washington's face, hair, and the lettering still sharp, it could be very valuable. What makes it even more interesting is that some of these coins were struck with high-quality dyes, meaning the image and text are very sharp and clear. That kind of detail makes collectors even more excited to own one. Also, if there are any small minting errors, like doubling in the letters or numbers, or tiny cracks in the metal, those can increase the value even more. People who collect coins look for what's called MS or mint state coins. These are coins that look almost brand new, even if they're decades old. A 1969 quarter without a mint mark in mint state condition can be worth $1,500 to $3,000, depending on how perfect it is. So if you ever come across a 1969 Washington quarter without a mint mark, take a good look at it. Make sure it hasn't been scratched or damaged too much. Then, check with a coin dealer or send it to a grading service that can tell you exactly what it's worth. You never know, something that looks like regular pocket change might actually be a valuable treasure. Now let's move on to another special coin, the 1980 50 new pence coin from the United Kingdom. This coin might seem like a regular piece of change to most people, but for coin collectors, certain versions of this coin are extremely rare and can be worth a lot of money. In fact, some of these coins have been sold for as much as $10,000. The 50 pence coin was first introduced in the UK in 1969, replacing the old 10-shilling note. It was a big change for British money. The 50p coin was unique because of its shape. It's not a circle like most coins. Instead, it has 7 straight edges. This shape is called an equilateral curve heptagon. The coin was designed to be easy to recognize and to work properly in coin machines. The 1980 version of the 50 pence coin features the familiar design of Britannia. She is sitting down, holding a trident in one hand and an olive branch in the other. There is a lion at her side, and this image has been used on many British coins over the years. It's a symbol of British strength and peace. On the other side of the coin is the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Now, while millions of 50 pence coins were made in 1980, only a very small number of them have something special about them. Some of these coins were made with minting errors. This means that something went wrong during the coin-making process. These errors can be small things, like the lettering being slightly off, the image being misaligned, or parts of the design not appearing properly. One of the most well-known errors on this coin involves the reverse side being misstruck or off-center, which means the image doesn't line up the way it should. These errors are not always easy to see unless you look closely. That's why coin collectors often use magnifying glasses to check every little detail. If you have a 1980 50 new pence coin that looks slightly different, it's worth taking a closer look. Coins with these kinds of errors are considered very rare. And when something is rare, collectors are willing to pay more money for it. That's why a coin like this, even though it's just 50 pence in face value, can sell for thousands of dollars if it has the right kind of mistake and is in good condition. Another reason these coins can be so valuable is their condition. If the coin is uncirculated, meaning it was never used and still looks brand new, it can be worth a lot more. Scratches, dents, or dirt can lower the value. But if you've kept an old coin from 1980 in a drawer or coin folder, it might still be in great shape. Some of these rare coins were never meant to be in everyday use. They were part of special sets made for collectors, and a few might have accidentally ended up in regular circulation. So, it's always a good idea to check any old coins you might have. You never know when you'll discover a small fortune in your own home. Now let's talk about the 1980p Washington quarter dollar from the United States. At first, this coin might not seem very special. Millions of these quarters were made for everyday use. Most people wouldn't even think twice about spending one. But for coin collectors, certain versions of this coin, especially ones with rare errors, can be worth a lot of money. Some of these 1980p quarters have sold for up to $10,000. The Washington quarter has been a regular part of US coins since 1932. It was originally made to celebrate 200 years since the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. On the front of the coin, you'll see Washington's face. The word liberty is written above his head, and below his chin, it says "In God We Trust." At the bottom of the coin is the year it was made, in this case, 1980. Now here's the important detail: the 1980p quarter was the very first year that the Philadelphia Mint started putting the letter P on the quarter. Before 1980, Philadelphia minted quarters had no mint mark at all. But in 1980, the rules changed, and coins from Philadelphia finally got their own letter. You'll find this P mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the front side of the coin. Even though millions of these coins were made, some of them are very valuable today, not because of the mint mark, but because of minting errors or high-quality condition. One of the most sought-after types of 1980p quarters is one with a double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the minting machine, causing some of the words or numbers to appear doubled. It's a mistake, but collectors love it because it's so unusual. There are also other kinds of errors that can raise the value. Some coins may have off-center strikes, where the design is not lined up properly. Others may be missing parts of the design, have die cracks, small raised lines that come from cracks in the minting tool, or even be struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Any of these mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a rare and valuable one. Another big factor is the coin's condition. A 1980p quarter that was used in everyday life will usually be scratched or worn down. But if the coin was never used and still looks brand new, collectors call it mint state or uncirculated. These coins are worth much more. A mint state 1980p quarter with no damage and sharp details can easily be worth hundreds of dollars. If it also has an error, the value can jump to several thousand, and in rare cases, even reach $10,000. So, it's a great idea to check your old coins, especially your 1980 quarters. Look for the P mint mark and then carefully inspect the coin for anything strange or unusual. Even a small difference could mean you're holding something very rare. A coin that looks like spare change could turn out to be a collector's dream. And there you have it, for ultra-rare coins from the United Kingdom and the United States that could be worth big money. Remember, the value of a coin depends on its rarity, condition, and any unique features it may have. Always consult with a reputable coin dealer or appraiser to get an accurate valuation. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy collecting!